What's up, heroes? It is our final March book club. This is the last time that we're going to be going over The Miracle Equation by Hal Elrod. So let's jump into it. We are on chapter 8, the final part of the Miracle Equation, which is Unwavering Faith plus extraordinary effort equals miracles. So chapter 8 is all about your second decision. We already talked about the unwavering faith. Now we're going to talk about the extraordinary effort and what it takes to put that faith into action. The biggest way to do that is to make your extraordinary effort so simple that it feels ordinary. And that requires active engagement. So this isn't something that you can do one time, read the book, and then be done with. It requires sustained effort, doing positive little steps over and over a long period of time. We're talking months, possibly even years. Big one is that it does not mean that you work yourself to the bone and risk burning you out. And there's specifically someone on one of the calls who I know tends to do that to herself. So don't work yourself hard. In fact, one of the things we teach on the Morning Hero is work with people on doing less, getting more done in less time, so you have more time for yourself. So here are the three components that Hal talks about in extraordinary effort. Number one, actions that move you closer to your ideal results. They need to be measurable and meaningful. So a big part of that is looking at what will actually move you closer, and things that aren't moving you closer, you get rid of them. You pair those off. Secondly, you need to find actions that take you out of your comfort zone. For example, mine, when I first started the Morning Hero, was cold calling. I not only was uncomfortable, it literally had me at the point of tears. But by doing it at first, even one or two calls a day, and then slowly ramping up, I got to the point where it's no longer outside of my comfort zone, and I really actually enjoy doing it. And then number three, and we just talked about this, is you have to keep doing it over a long period of time, and that's regardless of the results. And we'll talk about that in a second, but you need to keep doing it and not focus on the results, because you can't control the results. You can't control the outcome. You can only control what you do. So how do you do this? How do you actually put it into place? Well, first of all, you need to predetermine your process. What are your critical actions? What are the activities that, if you do consistently, will make success inevitable? And if you don't know what those activities are, you need to find a mentor. You need to look at someone who's already successful doing that. You need to read books by those people, get a coach, etc., and find out what are the one, maybe two actions that, if done repeatedly, will get you there. So like if you want to write a book, your action is probably going to be like Hal did, write 1,000 words a day, whether you feel like it or not. Or, for me, cold calling, it might be going to the gym, whatever. Secondly, this is huge. Release the emotion you attach to the results. And that's both good and bad emotions. So if you're, let's say, working out and the weight isn't instantly dropping off, don't get depressed or sad and give up. Keep going, because as Hal gives the example in the book, you might just be building muscle and burning the fat, and muscle actually weighs more than fat. So on the other side, though, you can't live off the highs, because they're not always going to be there. So like when I was in sales for Sears, I had to learn whether I sold 3 projects that day or none. I was just responsible for making the sales calls and doing that, because if I rode the high, then when I didn't have that high anymore, I would have nothing there in the tank. So get rid of the emotions. And third, schedule your process. In Morning Hero, we are very specific about doing something we call zero calendar, where we take those critical actions and we actually put them on our planners. And the earlier in the day, the better, before you get interrupted. So I have my time to do my cold calls at usually like 8 or 9 a.m. So I get people right away, and I get my cold calls out of the way before, life catches up. Fourth, safeguard your success with accountability. That's another great thing we do in the Morning Heroes. We have these accountability phone calls, and at 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, we get together with a group of people, and we go over those critical actions we were supposed to do yesterday. So whether it's an accountability group, a coach, a buddy, someone who has your best interest at heart, but will also be strict, is going to help safeguard you. And then finally, don't just run straight into the wall. Periodically, maybe every month or two, you need to assess your results and see, is this actually working? Am I measuring the right thing? And if not, maybe you need to adjust your process a little. Maybe you need to find a different critical action. Final thought, overcoming procrastination. Man, I love this one. Have you seen this movie? It's called What About Bob? It's simultaneously a hilarious and extremely annoying movie. But in it, the character Bob, in order to overcome his fears, has to take baby steps. And Dr. Leo Marvin wrote this book that you see there called Baby Steps, and he teaches Bob, take baby steps. And for Bob, it's literally like baby steps to the elevator, baby steps to pushing the button, baby steps to getting on. This actually works. So I love teaching this, and I didn't realize Hal teaches it, but let's say your goal is to work out. But if you're on your couch and you're comfortable, working out is a million miles away. So what if instead of saying, I'm going to go to the gym and I'm going to lift weights for 2 hours and hit the treadmill, blah, blah, blah. No, don't do that. Just psych yourself out. What if all you do is say, you know what? What's the baby step I need to take? Pack my gym bag. Okay, I'm just going to pack my gym bag. And then if you still feel like doing it, what's your next step? Okay, put the gym bag in the car. What's your next baby step? Drive to the gym. Literally, as I'm coaching people through something I will, get them to the point where it's like, give yourself permission to drive to the gym, walk in, touch a machine, and leave. Because you're much more likely to do that if you're not thinking, oh my gosh, I have to go work out and get tired. And then chances are, once you walk in and you hear the music, you'll probably stay and do something. So a great way of overcoming procrastination is just focus on what the next baby step is. All right, with that said, it's time for our final discussion. Do you have a system in place to put in extraordinary effort? And where does your process, if you have one, most often break down? And finally, did Hal miss anything in the equation? All right, if you're in a group, go ahead and discuss. If you're watching this online somewhere, please shoot us your comments, your feedback. We love to get those. Until later, my name's Rick. I'm your Morning Hero coach, along with a couple other coaches. We love you and we hope to hear from you soon.